What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the sky blue color, playing as Loki, with the map scroll speed at full speed because we just played an intense 1v1. His name is AC the Great. I think I said he's playing Loki, but he's playing Loki. His partners today in the yellow color, playing as Hades. His name is Hypering Farts. I actually don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. These guys should know better by now. But let's just say, if there's someone in the chat, who is this? You're supposed to be playing on an account which is somewhat recognizable. Otherwise, you get in trouble because you could be multi-clanning. So at least tell us who you are. I'm sure that everyone knows in the thing. Maybe it's yeah, I don't know. Anyways, finally rounding out the team in the purple color, playing as Gaia. His name is Tiger Boss, and Tiger Boss with an extra S, just to make sure you all know what's going on here. Their opponents today in the blue color, playing as Loki. His name is Gabu. Gabu the Loki main. We'll see what he's going to come up with here on this map. Moving over here into the middle of the map, we've got not Santos, Antos. That 3 is just there for style points, apparently. You don't pronounce the S. It's just there for style points. And he's playing as Hades here in this game. Bit of a surprise to see the Hades. And finally, rounding out the team composition, we do see Marcos in the red color playing as Kronos. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of the Phoenix Reborn clan tournament here, ladies and gentlemen. The map is Anatolia, and this is the best of 5s. Best of 5s. If you lose, you're out. It is single elimination until the semi-finals. Once we get to the semi-finals, that's the top 4 teams. Each team gets a lifeline, and that's how it goes here. So let's talk a little bit about strategy here and what's going on. We do see a Gaia on the team over here for Team TRN. Now, I'm surprised to see Gaia here for a few reasons. It's really, really risky to play an Atlantean on Anatolia because you might get placed in the center of the map. Now, you do have one veto. But it's really, really risky to be playing Atlantean. You have a 33% chance of being in the middle. If you're in the middle as Atlantean, it's a big, big hit to the early game. And obviously, any other god, apart from Atlantean, would function a lot better being in the middle on Anatolia. Anyways, we do see Tiger Boss going for his Atlantean here. And he does get the side spot, so he's going to be happy about that. But he is playing as Gaia. And while Gaia will give the Loki player a really, really big head start by giving them these Gaia forests, he actually hasn't done it to the best of, he hasn't actually been really nice with this Gaia forest placement, because here AC the Great still has to use an Ox card on this. So you could actually skip an Ox card here with Loki in the early game if the Gaia forest trees were on the town center, and it would be a lot nicer for AC the Great to do that and have a much better advance time, much faster, get into the game more better. But with this Gaia forest, it's just the increased wood gather rate. Anyway, normally on Anatolia, the strategy is you put your Loki player towards the back of the fish. You put someone else on the front of the Loki player, and you allow the Loki player to build nothing but Hersa and try and jump through the ages as fast as possible to put as much pressure on as possible. So let's see if that's what's going to happen here. Both teams have done that with their Loki, with Gabu over here going to be advancing fairly shortly, I'm sure. Let's see what the advance time's looking for. We got Oceanus, we got Prometheus coming through here for both Marcos or the Atlantean player. So both teams did actually choose to go at one Atlantean and try and risk it, and they both get a little bit lucky here as the Kronos docks starting to come up. It's a fair amount of fish here. Looking at 9 fish here for Marcos. Normally, I would say you probably want to be going for more like 12 to 15 fish here. You don't necessarily have to go all to 18 on a team game Anatolia, because you're most likely going to get doubled and lose the fish if you're the one player on one side. If you notice that you've got 2 players, then maybe do that a little bit different, as we do see that the Hades player here with the docks He's got his temple up on this side, so he is going to be getting himself a Minotaur out of here, but that might get deconstructed as the Athena is on the way. This villager here has been caught out, and that's going to be a really, really big hit to Team TRN in this game. Losing this house, losing this dock, most of all, or even actually losing that villager would have been game-ending for Team TRN here, because it would have meant that AC the Great could not go full land like he would want to. He'd have to actually fight water, and Ibering Farts here would be losing all of his docks and everything else that comes with it. So we are going to be seeing the docks getting dropped over on this location. There is still going to be a deconstruction remaining here for Marcos as the game's continuing up over there onto this side. We see Tiger Boss starting to get his ships out. He's got a decent amount of fish. He's got his 3 docks up. He's going hard on his side of the map. We see Antos here. He's just about to start advancing, getting himself his upgrades and everything else as the dock is up. We see the Minotaur getting chased down here, or the advanced time, I should say, is up. The Trireme, unfortunately, though, a little bit of idle time here for our Hades players as the Nightmare is ensuing here, as we do see some Hursa coming in for AC the Great, but the Breams are going to say, nope, get out of here, not today. Not ever. 7 idle fishing ships here is a lot of idle fishing ships, as we do see the Minotaur coming in. Nice micro there from Marcos, able to pull away on that location there. That Minotaur does go down there as the Troll's going to come in, or a Troll is going to come in, try and get a little bit of chip damage onto those Prometheans as this dock is slowly getting taken down. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing Ace the Great trying to take down this temple over here as the Troll is going down. Meanwhile, on this position over here, we do see the Carnivora coming through for Tiger Boss. He's going to try and win this water as fast as he possibly can here. Meanwhile, what is Gabu doing in the middle of the map? He has built a temple. He's got 2 longhouses coming out. He's about to spam his Hursa to all craziness here. He's going after the main base of Ibering Farts over here, as we do see a restoration needing to get thrown down to hold on into this location. Antos is actually not garrisoning in these docks here just yet, so he actually doesn't have as much of an advantage as you might think here. Now he is. So he's got 2 docks helping out on this position. Meanwhile, the Hursa managing to pick up a villager there as the Ajax is going to come out. The Ajax does actually lose this fight, so trying to take that was a bit of a mistake there as Marcos pulling back here. He's going to be able to take this fight just a little bit. Nice, Michael. Unfortunately, not fast enough there as the Hall of Fames are coming through. AC the Great's going to be looking forward now, trying to find some raids onto Marcos, who's going to be starting to make those Murmillo here, as effectively both teams are saying a good offense is the best defense, or the best offense is a good defense. I don't know what the saying is, but the dock just now about to go down as Marcos is going to be finding his first advantage in this game. Meanwhile, another longhouse coming up over here as Gabu is just saying, look, middle player, middle life, let's kill them. But now he can just say, look, I can attack Marcos. Sorry, I can attack Ibering Farts, or I can attack Tiger Boss here. Anyone is good enough, and it's going to take Tiger Boss so long to push through Antos here, who is seemingly holding at this point against the Gaia of Tiger Boss. And Antos is just saying, look, what? You're fighting underneath my docks. I got the superior ships. You might have the superior economy for the time being, but I can just sit back and I can just hold here and allow Gabu to function. And Gabu is going absolutely insane right now. As you can now see, the Hursa going to be looking to move over here into AC the Great's base. AC the Great is looking to attack Marcos. Marcos got himself his towers, getting himself some manners. He needs to build some military units here. Taking more fights over here. He's not going to really be able to win these anymore, so he should just pull back, get some fishing ships, and kind of try and survive here as the Trolls pushing into this position. We'll be picking off a citizen. Effectively, right now, all that matters is that Gaboon needs to be getting damage done somewhere, and that's exactly what he's doing, hitting the villagers on that wood line, picking off one villager that kills off an ox cart. He could realistically take down the town center here, as well as Marcos and Bareem getting caught out just a little bit here as Ibering Farts pushing through there. As the Hursa come through, they do pick off a tower or 2 as the villagers back to mining here, as Ace the Great needs to retreat back. But while this is all going on, Tiger Boss has found an advantage here. He is going to be pushing through. He's going straight for the Gabu fishing ships. Really smart here by Tiger Boss to do that. He does not need to worry about Antos' fishing ships at this point. Kill off Gaboos, slow Gabu down as much as he possibly can. We are seeing the towers getting taken down. No heroic age coming through just yet for any player here, as we do see an Einhjar spawn here. That's absolutely huge to help take down this base here. The watchtowers is up for AC the Great as the unit's pulling away. As we see the Iron here is actually the one getting taken, targeted by the town center here. Unfortunately, Gaboo not going for the town center just yet, as the Herser are going to be pushing and taking down these Herser as best as they possibly can. We see these units over here doing what they need to, as well as the Valkyrie spawns here for AC the Great. Whether or not that's going to be much of a help or not does remain to be seen, as the Dwarves and everything else getting completely messed up here. The Herser returning back to the base here for AC the Great, going to be taking these units out as best as they possibly can, as the villagers jumping onto this gold mine over here, and Gaboo does decide, yep, it's time to retreat back. Tiger Boss getting a little bit out of order here with his Bareems. He's trying to pick off these Gaboo fishing ships, and he's actually managing to do that, as Gaboo's not paying attention. However, Antos is managing to win a little bit on this location. Tiger Boss not paying attention over here either, as the Chiron for Antos looking to push in here and getting a little bit of damage done onto this position, as Gaboo's going to be leaving. He's building some military buildings onto this side, and while this is all going on, he's managed to click up through Bragi. This is going to be absolutely huge. Meanwhile, Marcos has been pushed into his docks in a very, very difficult position here, but he has some units going to be looking for some raids, some damage here, or anything else. The town center for Tiger Boss has been found here, as Gaboo is not going to be allowing that one to get up at all. Antos' Kitoskopos positioning here very, very nice in this game to be preventing that one there, as this citizen, both of these citizens, will be getting taken down here, as Antos is distracting Tiger Boss as best as he possibly can. Nice play here by Antos, as Tiger Boss loses 2 citizens, prevents the town center from going up. We see the Herser coming back over onto this position to help defend those Kyra Ballaster, as AC the Great is in a bit of a difficult position. We've got the time shift buildings coming in over here, as the units trying to fight off on this position. We see the Kyra Ballaster getting surrounded over here, as a troll does come through. The Herser trying to chase those Toxotes away, as the Hades player needs to retreat out of that location there. We do see restoration coming in onto this position. Flaming weapons getting dropped by Gaboo, as that's going to allow him to completely clean this fight up. But AC the Great simply just going to be retreating away for the time being. Meanwhile, we are still seeing the Bareems preventing fishing ships from gathering on this position. Beautiful play by Tiger Boss. He's able to defend over here and push on the front there to prevent the Herser or the Loki player get too far in front in this game, as AC the Great back into his main base, finishing up on this gold mine. The next leg of this game is very, very dangerous for Team TRN, because PXX is controlling the front over here. AC the Great's about to run out of gold. He has to move forward here, so they need to get an army out and push in past this, get access to a gold mine. We see all the military buildings for AC the Great going down. This is absolute nightmare for AC. He needs to throw down a temple as well, otherwise he will not get his battle bore, which might not matter that much because of the Herser, but you still want to get those free units when you can. Meanwhile, we see Tiger Boss grabbing this town center in the front of the map, pushing forward with these units, going to be looking to take out the Gaboo main base, as Gaboo is actually going to be getting hit here immediately by the Tiger Boss units. Gaboo's moving on to this gold mine. Obviously, that's what's going to happen. 12 minutes into the game, it's roughly what happens here, as Gaboo moves incredibly far forward. Not paying attention at all. This raid here may be actually game ending, or maybe bringing the team TRN back into this game if Gaboo does not pay attention, and he's still not paying attention. There's not that many military units over here for Tiger Boss, so you're not going to get that many kills. Maybe there's no shockwaves or anything, but lots of villager deaths there, as the units for Team PXX starting to converge on this position, pushing in to TRN's AC the Great here. He's trying to get his temple back up, trying to produce units as best as he possibly can here, as everything falling. It looks like the Hades Toxotes, though, in a good position, wedged in onto this location, going to be able to defend this one relatively nicely, but the battle ball pushing in. That mountain giant's going to be absolutely huge here, as the town center is getting taken down. And we'll see how this is all going to go, as basically AC the Great and Ivoring Farts need to defend this, otherwise things are going to be very, very difficult. We do see the Dwarves making the great migration up to the top of the map. He can sit on this gold mine, he can sit on this gold mine. We see AC the Great dropping his flaming weapons now to try and hold on here. He's got only a handful of units. He realizes he needs to do this. Meanwhile, the Dwarves coming up onto this position, but Marco says, no gold gathering for you in this game. You have to go all the way onto the other side of the map if you want to do do anything over here. Meanwhile, units on this position were taken out as well, and Ace of the Great does notice this. He's going to be losing a lot of units here. We see Gabu also getting a Valkyrie spawn here, which is absolutely huge, as Ace of the Great realizes, oh, he can't stay here losing too many units on this position. Tiger Boss trying to do as best as he can to push through here. We do see that the fishing ships here, or the fishing shenanigans from Tiger Boss have stopped, which is going to allow Antos to do everything he needs to. Gabu can rebuild his fishing ships if he so chooses, as Tiger Boss looking around to pick off these villages. This is going to be enough of a defense over here, it seems, with the Sentinel and everything else. As AC the Great trying to find gold, not going to be actually able to here, as the Toxotes pushing in here, trying to do what they can do best. We'll see how it's all going to go. As the Dwarves pushing back, trying to get a gold mine. We see not many units are actually remaining here for Gabu and Marcos, as all the Toxotes are here. So there is a potential that these villagers can get back onto this gold mine, starting to grab some gold. We see Thea coming through for Tiger Boss now. Much needed heroic age on the way, as he's also going to need to grab his gold mines fairly soon. It looks like right now is when he's going to have to move forward onto these gold mines, as these villagers, there's 15 Dwarves there. It's a decent amount, but at this stage in the game, you're probably looking to want 20 to 30 Dwarves on gold most of the time as Loki, because you need all that gold to spam out battle boards. But Antos now starting to get his footing in the game, getting some units out, getting everything he needs. He's sitting in the classical age. He's got himself 2 town centers. The farms coming up. We see the armory down as well. You don't necessarily need to get farms here. Just build some more fishing ships. But obviously farms are going to be good, as the raid's going to continue through here for Antos, slowly chipping away at fishing ships, as Tiger Boss might get a little bit out of position here, as the Hoplite Toxote composition does absolute wonders against Gaia's Terma Murmillo composition. Meanwhile, the Toxote is able to hold onto this location here. You should possibly think about dropping a hill fort here. If you could drop a hill fort here and hold this position, much better for the defense of those dwarves there. But we'll see how things are going to go, as the army does get greeted here by Gabu's Hersa army. But there's really not that much here, to be honest. Is Gabu's slightly wavering here, as the army of Ace of the Great looks like it's just a little bit stronger, especially with the help of the Frost Giant here to take out a couple of those myth units from the fight. Nice play here from AC the Great. Meanwhile, Tiger Boss looking to attack Gabu, who's spammed farms to all Billio here. He's like, yeah, I will spam some farms. Was that a mythic age? Did I see? No, that's heroic age came through. Artemis is going to be an option very shortly here. It's AC the Great going to grab this town center here. Pretty brutal. Meanwhile, we are still seeing the units sticking in onto this position. Murmillo versus Toxotes, not the best choice here from Marcos. Now, if you are Uranos, or maybe a really fast infantry unit, like Ulfsarks, like Odin Lone Wanderer Ulfsarks, you can actually beat the Toxote ball, because they're going to be able to start attacking before the Toxotes can attack. So the DPS is equal, and the Toxotes have low hack armor anyways. So you will be able to actually win those fights. But if your infantry units have got less than 5.00 speed, they're not going to be able to get into the Toxotes. The Toxotes are effectively hitting from the very start of the fight, so they get more DPS overall. As we do see Curse getting dropped onto this position. Tiger Boss, a little bit of a lull here as he's just getting everything sorted out. Atlas on the way now for Tiger Boss, though. This is going to be really big, as Gabu, I mean, he needs to either have been Mythic Age here or have a second town center at this point. He's lost too many units here in this game. Too much economy in this game. He hasn't restarted the fishing here. He's going to be dropping those fishing ships back out. These Bareems are still here. Just build yourself a longboat. One longboat, my friend. It's all you need at this point here, as the villagers getting taken out over here. We see Tiger Boss swinging back up to this position, realizing he needs to help out just a little bit, maybe cleaning up the side build by Gabu, help defending this location. We've got 5 battle ball here that can clean up that town center incredibly fast here, as the army pushing through over on this location. Players just dropping their military buildings, getting a little bit out of position here. Our Hades player with those Toxotes, as Antos coming in with his much superior force here of Hoplite Toxotes, and we'll see if he can, if I bring farts, can get away from this location at any point and keep himself alive here. We'll see how it's all going to go. They do retreat back. We see the longhouses coming up here for the time being. As the Murmillo do get taken down, we've got Antos pushing in here. Curse getting dropped down onto this position. Obviously, hitting this gold mine is somewhat of a win condition, but Boss is just going to say, look, Gaboo's not taking his town center, so I'm just going to. And there's an implode here. You can just drop implode on this position, kill all of Antos's units, all of Marcos's units, drop it over on this location, and prevent the units from pushing through, and you can kill off everything there, right? And as Artemis is actually coming through for Antos though, so this is scary because earthquaking the Loki removes the Loki from the game effectively here, prevents any sort of mythic age, and that's going to be absolutely brutal as AC the Great did lose his town center there as Tiger Boss tries to come in. He's got a whole bunch of those hero Terma in on this position here. As AC the Great going to push through and see exactly what he can do here. One Frost Giant Spawn going to be a big help here. As the units searching around for something to do here. Villagers coming back onto this gold mine looking for everything. We do see the Toxotes coming onto this position as Hell, the god of choice now for Gaboo. I'm a bit surprised to see that, honestly. Like Fimbulwinter is so good in these situations because it prevents the economy of this player and this player from functioning because they've got nothing left. If your opponents are on low town centers or have been hurt economically somewhat, Fimbulwinter does so much more damage than Hell. But I guess Gaboo's playing for the late game here. He wants to get out those Fire Giants, but Tiger Boss might be able to just move in and just delete this town center here. As the units, he's got himself a handful of Dryads and the Murmillo. He can just move in and take this down. There's not a whole lot of stuff here. As Tiger Boss pushes in, he's going to drop a palace down on this position. Tiger Boss is just saying, Gaboo, you got to defend yourself, my friend. You're not defending yourself at all. There's nothing remaining here for Gaboo, as Helios is actually on the way, though, for Marcos. So Marcos is in a really, really good position after all is said and done. As these two villages moving in, the towers are up, though, so you have to be a little bit careful with this one. Heroizing those citizens would be enough to get this this palace up, as the Destroyer, we're going to try and take down this tower here, as Hell on the way. Earthquake 100% gets clicked onto the Loki every single time as the Loki loses a bunch of houses. The camera shake coming in, the town center falls. Absolutely huge here. This gold mine has been pushed off as AC the Great looks like, I mean, he's over on this gold mine now, so Marcos and Team PXX need to search that one out and get a little bit of raids in there as Ibering Fart's coming in with his villagers to try and help on this location. As the town center getting taken down, but now we do see Hell has managed to come through, but it looks like there's no temple on this position. There is a temple over here, so a Fire Giant does come in. Where's the Nidhogg, though? Has that gotten thrown down onto this position or not? Both the citizen are getting killed off here as the palace gets denied, but the town center is about to fall here as Gaboo has nothing remaining on this position. I don't see the Nidhogg. There's the Nidhogg going to be flying in to take out AC the Great's villagers here. Both Loki players effectively here saying, look, it's just time to leave the game. We can tap out here and we can just play a 2v2 for the rest of the game. There's no problems where that's concerned. But Tiger Boss is huge. Antos is huge. Marcos is pretty big, but the thing is that that our Hades player over here, he is still not equal stabilized here in this game. He needs to get 3 town centers and a bigger economy here. As the units pushing back, we see Marcos denying this town center for the time being. Gaboo needs to run his villages away to safety here. As it looks to me, like he's still got he's lost a dwarf here as the game's continued. The Hersa moving over onto this position, going to be thinking what he can do. So what you really want to do in this position is make sure that AC the Great is out of this game completely, which is basically what's happened here as Marco's going to continue to push in here. And then after that, Gaboo also out of this game basically here. I mean, unless Antos comes in to save him, but that can be a really, really big thing here. But now we are seeing Rampage was coming through for Gaboo, which can be actually huge here. All you have to do is feed the Loki a little bit of gold and just allow those Fire Giants to just literally rampage into your opponent's base here. But it looks like the town center will come back up for both Loki players here, as the Nidhogg was not enough to defend that location there. But still, AC the Great's economy in a world of hurt here. One way to play here for Loki is to actually just start the trade route. He's got the market up. Start the trade route early. You got the fishing economy. The trade route might get killed off, but maybe you can go halfway across the map a little bit instead of the full way going through these buildings. But that's another way to get a little bit of gold too. But Ace of the Great does have a ton of Herso still, so he's still very much alive in this game, as opposed to Gaboo, who is very much struggling here. As Tiger Boss searching through here, has he got that? Has he got the implode? He did use the implode somewhere. I must have missed that. As the Murmillo does get taken down on that position there. Do you see the Herso now coming in onto here? We've got 3 Battle Wall. We've got a ton of Herso, as there is 1 Hero Fanatic, which technically would be able to kill off those 3 Battle Wall relatively fast, but the Herso will be able to deal with those no problems here. As the army does move over here by Marcos, he's going to be able to defend this one nicely as the Hero Arcus do come through here. You see the Herso coming through onto the back. You can run back and forth here, trying to distract just a little bit. One Palace does end up falling there as the Chimera coming in here for Eye-Bring Farts. That's going to be a lot of damage onto those Arcus. You can see that's exactly where I would have thought that's exactly where he was aiming to go, but it's like he's not, as he's retreating away from this position. And the other Palace will end up remaining here for the time being. We've got a lot of Fire Giants now in the middle of this location. We'll see what the plan is here as Earthquake onto Gaboo. This is just what happens when you play Loki. You have to be aware you're gonna get earthquaked, you're gonna get raided by Zeus Hoplite, you're gonna get killed by the Gaia play. Everything's gonna happen, and you're gonna receive every single little bit of damage because you are the knife. You are the sword here in this game. So if you can destroy the sword, then there is no threat remaining, as we are seeing still more side builds coming through for Gaboo. He is unrelenting in this game. This Tiger Boss looks like he has actually lost this town center, as Antos is coming into his element here. Absolutely huge here with his Hades. I'm surprised to see this. Normally, Gaia actually, unlike Kronos and unlike Uranus mostly, Gaia doesn't really fall off in these games, but it seems like Tiger Boss has kind of wavered just a little bit for some reason. I think maybe it's because of Gaboo's side builds preventing the trade from really starting to be big here. That's why everything is a little bit slow for Tiger Boss, but he does manage to hold this position. He's got some citizen over here as well, so he can get those military buildings up, drop the town center here as well. Meanwhile, palaces coming through. We see some more buildings coming up here for AC the Great. Eye-Bring Farts has got his fortress on this position as AC the Great trying to grab his gold mine here. We do see this Nidhogg still flying around, searching for something to kill. We've got the fortress here. You got to pay attention here, Gaboo. He's not paying attention, but the Nidhogg doesn't care. It's like, look, maybe if I can kill these villagers, it's going to be absolutely huge here. As the Nidhogg comes through, needs to be microing just a little bit. There we go. Going straight after this location. The splash damage coming down. Looks like he's actually focusing down the ox cart here as the villagers retreating away here. Meanwhile, town center coming up. Where did those Fire Giants go? The Fire Giants have got their eyes set on Tiger Boss's town center here as the Heliopolis coming in to take out that military academy over on that position. Meanwhile, villagers coming through for Antos going to be attempting to stop the town center coming through. The Hesperus tree is being grabbed for the time being here. Antos could spam out Dryads from this position if he so chooses there, as the Nidhogg for AC the Great is doing tons of damage over here, preventing gold from getting grabbed. Left, right, and center, we do see the Fire Giant in on this position to try and hold this side build just a little bit as a fortress, or hill fort I should say, from Gaboo getting dropped down onto that position. The town center here for Tiger Boss getting finished off as those 4 Heliopoli make short work of that one there. There is still the Hesper tree here. You can grab that quickly. The Heliopoli can take down the palace and grab this town center for themselves at some point. Could be absolutely huge, as Gaboo about to go up to 2 town centers as AC the Great, he is in so much pain. Same too is Eye-Bring Farts here, as Marcos pushing in, and we do see that Tiger Boss in that moment decides, look, he does not have what it takes to carry his team through this one. Antos too big, Gaboo too annoying, and Marcos playing this one absolutely perfectly. An incredibly well played game here by Team TRN. By Team PXX gets the first win here on Anatolia. Played it really, really well. Obviously, the Loki is a must pick here on this map. I am actually interested in some other sort of compositions here, especially like Gaia. Instead of getting a Greek, here you can go for an extra Norse here. And what you can actually do, if you've got an extra Norse, with Gaia, Norse, Loki, the Norse players defend one side, the Gaia players defend the other player. The Loki player does his standard thing, but then you get Forest Fire, Gaia Forest, and instead of waiting till like 8 minutes or till you get to the heroic age for the Loki to actually move in and kill a town center, you can actually move in and kill the town center much quicker and just completely erase an Atlantean player from the game. So you can effectively make Atlantean like impossible to play on this map to some degree with that combo. So I'd be interested to see people trying to implement that, especially if you've got a Gaia player on your team who really wants to play Gaia. Maybe here we didn't have like a Norse player who could pilot Thor or Odin here. I think Thor and Odin are really good on Anatolia. Don't care what anyone says. I think they're really good, especially in team games, but didn't see it here. And PXX gets the dub. GG, well played. If you guys like this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.